Today is the day. It is the rematch. The rematch everybody has been waiting for. And I'm going to be talking about, obviously, a bit of a breakdown. And I've talked about what needs to happen in the video yesterday, just in general. And I'm going to be talking about basically just, do the Fever have any chance? And is this even going to be competitive? But yeah, it's not looking great based on what we've seen. Before we get on, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We put more basketball content here than anywhere else. But anyway, now let's get on to the video. So, Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clarke. The rematch. The trilogy. Even though, like, the LSU played Iowa and Reese played Iowa for Maryland, and they're going to play each other a million more times. This is going to be the big one, because this is the one that people are going to watch. Like, by the way, the blow-in fans for the WNBA, like, the WNBA is definitely going to be gaining fans. But, you know, the fans that have all come in for Caitlin Clarke, they're gone very, very soon. They're gone very soon. Like, and again, the social media fans that have been brought in by Angel Reese, that novelty kind of wears off quick. Like, you can even see from Reese, when Reese played the Sparks, and it was a half-empty stadium. Like, obviously, the ticket price sales aren't really there. Obviously, the Fever are selling quite a lot of tickets. This one's definitely a sellout. But you can still get tickets for like $30, which is good if you're from Indiana. Like, I would love it. Like, if I wasn't in France right now, and again, like, by the time the game's on later today, I will have landed back in Ireland and will be watching the game. I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have flown out to see this game had I not been in France. But yeah, so the Fever are garbage. They are absolutely garbage. And I give them like a 5% chance of winning. Vegas has it as a 3-point win for Chicago. I don't see how that happens. I really don't. The Fever are garbage. And the only thing that I can see as a positive for the Fever is Chicago aren't a spectacular offensive team. Like, they will will their way to points. Angel Reese. Look, Angel Reese is as far from a polished player as possible. Like, genuinely, people are saying, oh, once Angel Reese, they're like, oh, Angel Reese needs to get in the gym with AJ Wilson, which obviously isn't bad. They're like, oh, once she gets that nice 3-point shot down, she'll become one of the best players. Like, she claps when she shoots. She's Joakim Noah. Like, she is Joakim Noah. And if that's not a knock on Angel Reese, Joakim Noah was brilliant. Like, Joakim Noah is a multiple-time All-Star, a Defensive Player of the Year. A guy who should have won Defensive Player of the Year multiple times was robbed. He lost the Defensive Player of the Year to a guy who made the all-defensive second team. He was the center on the first team, and the center of the second team won Defensive Player of the Year. So he should have 2, and was 4th in MVP voting. That is not a knock on Angel Reese. But, like, Angel Reese is not going to be one of the best WNBA players. She's going to be one of the best in her role, and she already is one of the best in her role. But the touch is not there. She shoots under 40% from the field on nearly entirely layups. But at the same time, she is going to neutralize whoever. Like, if they want to put her on the list of Smith's not doing anything. They want to put her on Aaliyah Boston. It's going to be so much of a massacre that people are going to be that, like, Aaliyah Boston is probably going to shut down her Twitter and not just log off it. It's going to be that bad. Like, if they match up both ways, Reese to Aaliyah Boston is going to be fouled out of this game in less than 10 minutes on the court, and Chicago win by 40. Because if you end up having to match up Samuelson to Boston, or playing Lexi Hull at the 4, it's not to Boston, to Reese or Lexi Hull at the 4, it's just game over. The only chance that they have is Angel Reese getting into early foul trouble, her being a little bit too aggressive, and Aaliyah Boston not getting into foul trouble. Like, that's basically it. Because if Reese is off the floor, then Aaliyah Boston is going to, like, as good as Elizabeth Williams is, one of Aaliyah Boston or Alyssa Smith are going to be okay. And I don't see, like, their backups being able to blitz Caitlin Clarke well. And I think if you don't blitz Caitlin Clarke, she's going to go for 30. And I think they're going to try stop her going for 30. Like, more, I genuinely think that eventually, like, if the Fever are hitting shots, just like you saw against the Storm, with how much the how much the Fever were wide open, how many wide open shots they missed. And it's all caused by blitzing Caitlin Clarke. Like, these teams are willing to lose the game as long as Caitlin Clarke doesn't score. Like, that's basically it. They are willing to give up a wide open 3-point shot in a possession as long as Caitlin Clarke does not have an open shot. They're willing to give up an open layup as long as Caitlin Clarke doesn't have a shot. Heck, we saw the one where one hit the first free throw and then ran straight away to deny Caitlin Clarke. Like, she has that much gravity. She has that much gravity. But the rest of the Fever team just need to hit their shots. And I don't see any teams changing their tactics for how they guard the Fever until the Fever players actually learn to put the ball in the basket. And that's basically their only chance is run and gun, because I don't think they're good enough in the half-court offense. I think Angel Reese is just too good as far as rebounding wise. I think it's foul trouble, and you hope that Mabry is missing, because Mabry can get ultra hot and ultra cold. Diamond Shields has not been the greatest this season. Like, you can punish this Chicago team if they're missing and you just play run and gun and you hit shots. Like, without Faye Bentley, they don't look as good run and gun. But if your wings are just going to run with Caitlin Clarke, you can be effective on the break. And the Indiana Fever were even at times against Seattle Storm. The problem is that a lot of the time when they start getting stops and going on these runs, it's to come back into a game rather than to blow out a game or blow open a game early. So if the Chicago Sky come out like they did against the Sparks and have a big lead early, it's over. It's over. Like, even if Indiana pull it back once, it's only a matter of time until Chicago pull it out again. And I don't see, from what I've seen, like, as much as Chicago are just dogs, they will put in the effort. They don't seem to be a team that hack everybody. They just outwork them. They do not seem to hack. So I can't see them hacking Caitlin Clarke for 4 quarters. But if they do, and I think the refs are actually going to call it because it's becoming an issue. So I don't see that happening. I see them struggling to deal with Clarke, but I also see them dominating this game. I think they're going to probably have like a 30% offensive rebound rate that they will be allowed to chuck. And even if they're missing shots, I still think they're getting their boards. I don't see a situation where Indiana wins this game. I actually don't see a situation. And I'm not joking. I think Angel Reese could have 2 points and Caitlin Clarke could have 30 points on 70% shooting. And I still think the Chicago Sky are winning this game. Just because of how poor at rebounding and defense the Fever are. Like, I don't, unless Caitlin Clarke comes in and grabs 10 boards over Angel Reese, I just don't see them having any chance in this game at all. So anyway, that is the video. Obviously, this is the big game. Maybe you'd want me to say, oh, they have a great chance. No, I actually just don't think they have any chance whatsoever. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.